I'm pleased to present our next speaker. Judy Spiller needs no introduction, the chairwoman of our town council and also chair of the Kittery Climate Adaptation Committee. And so I'm pleased that you could join us tonight and maybe give an overview of some of the initiatives underway through the Climate Adaptation Committee, which I just want to point out there might be some confusion about if Kittery has a Climate Adaptation Committee that's sanctioned by the town council. Why do we also need the Climate Action Now group that's putting events like this on? The idea that we is, and we really stole this playbook straight from our friends and neighbors in York, who have what was York Ready for 100 is now York Ready for Climate Action. Fred is here on behalf of that group. But the idea is that having a citizens group that can advocate for programs and initiatives and get people to turn out at a town council meeting when things are being discussed, like should we buy electric vehicles for the police department, or invest in a climate action plan. Having citizens who can turn out at town meetings and advocate for the kinds of changes we want to see to become a more resilient and climate-ready community is the work of a group like Kittery Climate Action Now, and we're just delighted that so much is happening on the town front in terms of the Climate Adaptation Committee. So if you could talk a little bit about what's going on, we'd be grateful.
Thanks, Melissa. Thanks to KitteryCAN for organizing this event, and mostly thanks to all of you for coming this evening. It's pretty impressive to look out and see so many seats filled. Just one note, I'm the vice chair of the Kittery Adaptation Committee. Cameron Wake is our chair, and really an impressive leader. So between the town manager and Cameron Wake, it's a real pleasure to see the town change. Though I know some of you have lived here for a while, and you may have shared my feeling of probably 5 or 6 years ago, which was, why isn't Kittery doing anything about climate change? Well, 4 years ago we changed that. We created the Town Council Climate Adaptation Committee. It's a combination of citizen representatives, representatives from some of our key committees in town, the Planning Board, the Parks Commission, the Economic Development Committee, the Port Authority, School Committee, and then there are 2 of us who are council representatives on that committee. We quickly joined forces with the town manager, and you heard about how she took the net billing community solar option and ran really hard with it, worked very closely with Southern Maine Planning and Development. They're our partners on many of our climate activities. If you go to their website, it is a terrific resource around climate change and climate resilience. They are great to work with. We're really lucky to have them. They're lucky to have Kendra bugging them about things. Let me tell you a little bit about what the Climate Adaptation Committee. One thing I'll mention is that we included a school committee representative, and what the school committee said to us, thank God, you really should have some students. And so we have 2 TRAPE students who are typically members of our committee, and if you have any doubts or concerns about the future with respect to young people, spend a little time with these folks. They are absolutely terrific, tons of energy, very polite to the sometimes doddering older members of the committee, so it's been a real pleasure to work with them. Our main program and project in the coming 2 years will be developing a climate action plan for Kittery. We'll be launching that in August. Again, with the town manager and Southern Maine Planning, we decided, as Kendra said, climate is regional. It's not just Kittery. And so we put together a request for proposal that involved other communities in York County, and we are now partnering with Kennebunkport, and Biddeford on this project, which means that we are able to to get some very important things for a little bit less money. The big part of the planning process will be citizen involvement. And so we will be turning to all of you in the next year and asking you to help us think about what the future of Kittery could be like, how we realize that future in a responsible, energy efficient, and climate friendly way that also builds in equity. And so I'm going to wrap my comments up by saying the thing I really like about community solar is that it opens the solar option for those who may not be as affluent as some of us are. It also opens the opportunity for some of those folks like me who are rooftop compromised. And it also can be a supplement if you do have solar. So it's really, I can't see any way you lose on community solar. As soon as I began to get those solicitations, I did sign up. I went to the York Ready for 100% website and used their screening questions, so thank you very much for doing that. I went to the Maine Public Advocates webpage and used their screening questions, so I encourage you to look at both of those. And with that, I will again say thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the program.